If you were about to drop $5,000 on a massive full-frame flagship camera, or if you are still desperately clinging to your aging Nikon D500 like a piece of ancient history, stop exactly what you are doing. The wait is officially over. We have massive news that is about to completely rewrite your entire gear roadmap for 2026. For years, the photography community called it the mythical camera. We heard the whispers, we saw the patents, and then absolute silence from Nikon. But that frustrating silence has finally been shattered. Today, we are not just talking about a standard new camera release. We are talking about the highly anticipated resurrection of an absolute legend. The Nikon Z90 is no longer just a wild internet rumor. It is a total market revolution. We have just secured the latest verified leaks directly from the supply chain, and trust me, what is hiding inside this APS-C beast is going to make the competition look like cheap hobbyist toys. The professional photography world has been begging for a true mirrorless successor to the legendary D500 for nearly a decade. Nikon enthusiasts have been forced to choose between carrying the massive Z9 brick or the expensive Z8. But not everyone wants a heavy full-frame sensor for fast-paced wildlife or sports. Sometimes you desperately need that 1.5 times crop factor to get closer to the action without losing quality. This is exactly where the highly anticipated Z90 changes the game. According to the absolute latest 2026 roadmap leaks, the beating heart of the brand new Nikon Z90 is a terrifyingly powerful 33-megapixel DX format Stacked CMOS sensor. Now, why does that specific stacked architecture matter so much? If you are a working professional, you already know that a stacked sensor is the exact difference between a decent consumer camera and a world-class professional tool. This advanced architecture allows for a sensor readout speed that is exponentially faster. Because of this blindingly fast readout speed, we are looking at the complete elimination of annoying rolling shutter. Whether you are perfectly tracking a falcon diving at 60 miles per hour or panning with a high-speed race car on the track, the Z90 absolutely will not give you those weird, distorted, leaning lines. You are getting pure, incredibly clean digital data that is instantly processed by the massively powerful XSpeed7 dual-engine processor hiding inside the camera body. This is not just some boring, incremental firmware update. It is a massive leap in raw processing power that literally allows the camera to think exactly as fast as you can shoot. But this release is not just about the photography sensor. The real shock and awe factor coming exclusively to the Z90 in 2026 is the heavy integration of RED digital cinema. Ever since Nikon completely acquired RED, the entire industry has been waiting to see exactly how that Hollywood DNA would trickle down. Well, the wait is over. The Z90 is reportedly the very first APS-C hybrid body to feature internal 6K REDCODE RAW and 12-bit NRAW recording. Just let that massive spec sink in for a second. You are getting professional, Hollywood-grade cinema color science and insane file flexibility in a compact body that easily fits into a small day pack. This is not just a casual vlogging camera. This is a primary B-cam for high-end cinematic productions and an absolute dream for hybrid creators. To properly handle these massive, high bitrate video files, the internal thermal management system has been completely redesigned from the ground up. This ensures that you can record dense 6K RAW files without the camera overheating and shutting down after just 10 minutes in the harsh summer sun. But let's pivot back to raw speed, because this is exactly where the Z90 officially earns its legendary nickname, the Mini Z9. The supply chain leaks suggest burst rates that are truly insane. We are looking at a blistering 20 frames per second using the mechanical shutter mode. But the second you switch over to the electronic shutter, the Z90 can push a staggering, mind-bending 120 frames per second in a slightly cropped format. Combine that ridiculous speed with an internal buffer that is heavily rumored to be exactly twice as deep as the Canon R7. You can literally hold the shutter button down forever and never miss the absolute perfect, decisive moment in the field again. With a 120 frame per second burst rate, You could practically film a smooth slow-motion movie just by taking rapid stills. Now, we have to talk about the autofocus. Nikon has officially ported the entire eye-driven subject tracking system directly from the flagship Z9 down into this APS-C body. It does not just recognize generic animals, it flawlessly recognizes the eyes of specific birds, tiny insects, fast-moving airplanes, and even the heavily tinted helmets of racing drivers on track. The brand new 2026 firmware updates have aggressively refined this AI autofocus to the point where the sticky factor of the tracking is almost telepathic. If you have ever struggled or fought with the unreliable autofocus on older Z-mount DX bodies, the Z90 is going to feel like it was engineered on another planet. It aggressively locks onto the subject's eye and permanently stays there, absolutely regardless of how chaotic or messy the background behind your subject might suddenly become. But what about the actual physical build? True working professionals do not care just about the numbers on a spec sheet. They deeply care about how the tool actually feels in the hand. The Z90 is built like an absolute tank. It features a premium, rock-solid magnesium alloy chassis with comprehensive, elite weather sealing. It is slightly larger than the entry-level Z50 Mark II simply because it needs to house the massive heat sinks required for that heavy 6K RAW video processing power. It features a deep, highly ergonomic grip that immediately feels like a serious professional tool, not a cheap plastic toy. You are also getting highly requested dual card slots. It features one ultra-fast Express Type B slot for writing that high-speed RAW video data, and one standard SDUHS2 slot for your instant backups. This is exactly the professional-grade reliability and redundancy that legendary D500 users have been desperately begging for since the mirrorless transition began. So when can you actually get your hands on this absolute monster? The strict consensus among highly reliable supply chain insiders directly points to a massive second quarter 2026 announcement, with retail units officially shipping globally by the early summer. Pricing is also expected to land right in that highly competitive premium enthusiast sweet spot, roughly launching at $1,999 for the body only. That aggressive price puts it directly against the popular Fujifilm X-H2S in the market. But when you combine Nikon's vastly superior ergonomics, the sticky AI autofocus, and the brand new RED-powered RAW video features, the Z90 is clearly aiming to violently steal the APS-C crown. It is perfectly designed for the wildlife professional who desperately needs speed, the indie filmmaker who needs elite color science, and the hardcore enthusiast who absolutely refuses to compromise on build quality. But before I give you my final verdict, let's look at the current lens situation. Nikon is finally aggressively expanding their premium DX lens lineup. We are hearing incredibly strong rumors of a brand new 16 to 35mm f2.8 DX lens launching exactly alongside the Z90. This is designed to give wide-angle shooters the fast, professional glass they have been entirely missing on the crop sensor platform. This specific release fills a massive, glaring gap in their lineup and proves that Nikon is finally serious about dominating the high-end crop sensor market again. Furthermore, the inclusion of a global shutter-like experience through this insanely fast 33-megapixel stacked sensor puts Nikon light years ahead of literally anyone else currently playing in the high-end APS-C field. The Nikon Z90 is the ultimate camera that absolutely proves Nikon has not forgotten about their loyal APS-C professionals. It is wildly fast, it is incredibly rugged, and with that internal Red Cinema integration, it is an absolute monster in the hybrid video department. But I genuinely want to hear from you guys. Is a 33-megapixel stacked sensor enough to finally make you ditch your bulky full-frame setup? Or are you still desperately waiting for something else from Nikon? Drop a comment below right now. I read every single one, and I want to know if you are as hyped for the ultimate mini Z9 as we are. If this deep dive helped you map out your gear purchases for the year, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe to TechPulse right now. You absolutely do not want to miss our upcoming Exclusive hands-on field review: the precise second this camera officially hits the retail shelves. The Nikon Z90 is shaping up to be a total, unstoppable market disruptor in 2026. If Nikon truly nails the internal thermal management and holds that $1,999 price point, every single other camera manufacturer is going to be playing desperate catch-up for yours. Do not be the person who buys an outdated body right before the real king arrives. Keep your eyes glued to this channel for the most authentic, up-to-the-minute camera supply chain leaks and hardcore tech news. This specific APS-C release will completely redefine what small sensor mirrorless cameras can achieve in brutal professional environments. Make sure your channel notifications are officially turned on, because the official Nikon announcement could literally drop any day now. Until next time, keep shooting, keep creating, and I will catch you in the next video.